Start our practice. Heels touching. Immediately put the awareness to the sole of the foot and feel the ground. Feel the foot pressing into the ground, soften the muscles in the feet so the bones spread. Create a nice squishy, squelchy base to build the body up on. Lift the sternum, drop the chin. Release any inner tension, especially around the abdomen, groin, buttocks, quad, the hip joints, the lower back, and really let yourself settle into the feet and the legs. You'll be looking to change the quality of the holding muscles in the thighs and the hip joints to allow yourself to drop into the rather than resist pushing yourself up, you want to feel yourself sinking into the force that's supporting you. So allow yourself to drop into the force that's supporting you until we just become quiet and centered. And then moving to parallel stance, turning across, sinking to the left, turn back and settle. Engage the ball of the foot, the outside edge and the heel, so you've got a nice feeling of the feet on the ground. And then our first exercise of folding. Stretch like an elastic band and release like an elastic band. So you want to get the feeling that your body is pulled open and that stretchy returning feel. So right at the top, the body feels like a piece of one piece of elastic that your fingers to toes release. And continue that releasing until the body is connected and then finally settle. Feel the stretch, release the stretch, continue sinking, settle. As the hands drop, as they pass the brow, soften the tiny muscles around the eyes, the cheeks, the throat, the chest, the abdomen, groin, the buttocks and the legs. The whole body softens and settles down. Feel the stretch. As the hands pass the face, soften, even close the eyes, the throat, the chest, abdomen, lower back, legs, settle. First loosening exercise, the hands open up. Notice the joints are open and long. They're not held, they're open and long. The shoulders aren't lifted, the shoulders are dropped, but all the joints are open in this position. But when I sink, I'm turning straight away. The hands are long. They're not held up this way. They're long. All the joints are relaxed. And then as I finally settle, the arm swings up. Square. When I'm square, I'm back to the beginning posture where all the joints are open. I'm remaining upright. So for the first few swings, the first few movements across, I'm paying very close attention to my posture being upright. I'm being really clear that I'm not leaning or moving from the upper body. I'm trying to let the upper body, shoulders and the hips, move as a unit and remain upright. So even though my arms are going, I'm putting less focus on the arms and more focus on the core of the body, the head top to the feet, and how I'm turning around that axis. And then when I've got a good sense of remaining upright, I'm then looking at level and smooth movement of the hips. Level and smooth movement of the hips. So I'm not stopping, I'm not speeding up. Nice, smooth movement of the hips. And even though the arms are going, I'm choosing to focus more on what the hips are doing. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to combine my upright posture with the movement of the hips. When that feels like both are working well, the hips are nice and smooth, the body's staying upright, I'm going to focus on the stability. So as I move across, I'm sinking down towards the foot. And I feel nice and stable here. As I move to the foot, there's an internal sinking. Internal sinking means my muscles are softening. Exactly the same process as when I do this exercise and finally release. Releasing is on the inside. On the inside. This makes me nice and stable over my left foot. My hips are nice and level. My body is upright. And even though my arms are swinging, and there's a lot going on, I'm focused on remaining stable. And the things I may feel, the knee collapses. I may feel I go down too low and the tension develops around the ankle. So feel for these things. And if you notice anything that feels wrong or feels different or feels not what you're trying to do, just try and put it right the next time you swing. Really common to go too low. And if you go too low, the whole body weight presses into the ankle and the ankle gets tight. The sinking is inside the body. It's not so much the body dropping, it's something releasing inside the body. So I'll explain this a little bit. Like a lift shaft, and the shaft stays in place and the lift goes down. The lift is inside the shaft. Or a tube of water, and the water level sinks downwards. The whole tube and water don't drop as a block. The whole lift and the shaft don't drop as a block. So when we move internal and external together as a block, we tend to get very heavy on the ground. What we're looking for is to melt inside as we move. Fall away from the head top as we move. So there's less going downwards on the outside, more releasing on the inside. And the result of that is that we don't press all our body weight very heavily onto the foot or the ankle. There's a light foot pressure. There's a light foot pressure rather than a heaviness of the feet. This is what we're looking for. It's a little bit more than a beginner's concept, how to release on the inside, and how to make that movement smooth, how to make those changes refined. The first loosening exercise is a really good exercise to start working with. As soon as you start to move, soften the lower back. As soon as you start to move, soften the lower back. As soon as you start to sink, soften the thigh and allow the lower back to sink into the thigh. So you're moving into the pressure that's going to support you. Your lower back is softening. The curve in your lower back is dropping. It's as if there's a weight on your tail and the curve in your back is dropping. And this is a rotation in your hips. This is a rotation in the pelvis. I'm exaggerating here, but you can see what happens to my lower back when the pelvis rotates. So in this movement, there's a very small rotation of the hips. And it starts at the beginning of the letting go, and it continues right through to the end of the movement. So it starts now. Continue, release, continue, release, continue, release, finishing. So you can see that movement of the hips is very small, and it takes place over quite a long period of time, which is why it's more than a beginner's process. But doesn't mean you can't work with it. At the beginning, it'll probably be too deliberate, and you'll end up a feeling of tucking your tail or doing too much. It should come from releasing. And the releasing is creating space for everything to be soft and change. Everything to soften and change. Let's do the second loosening exercise. Feet position is the same. The feet are parallel, shoulder width. The hand position is the same. We're doing 4 swings of the arms to our lowest position, and then 4 swings of our arms to our top starting position again. So 1, 2, 3. I'm at my lowest position now, and I'm coming up. 4 swings of the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm at the top again at the beginning. So the first 4, everything is sinking and settling, and the body's moving in exactly the same way that I'll do the first move of the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sinking, 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 sinking. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then coming up is exactly the opposite. I'm using the legs and I'm pushing up very gently and smoothly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So carry on doing that exercise. I'll have a look at you do it in a minute. Most people, when they do this, do it in, most people have, let's say, what we're trying to do is make that sinking smooth and continuous, and use the swing of the arms as a counting mechanism. So 4 beats of the arms, 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1 continuous sink over that period of time. And when most people do it, they drop in stages like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's very like going down steps. And what we want it to be is like a river flowing down. Same with coming up. We want a very smooth push into the ground so we don't end up throwing ourselves out of alignment or tightening the body too much. It's a very smooth pushing up. And it's a very smooth release on the way down. So I'll have a look at your practice. Any questions, please unmute and feel free to ask. I'm just going to change my view to gallery so I can see everybody. David, see if you can let your arms swing a little bit longer. When they drop, try and let them really drop. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Try and find that bottom part of the swing when your arm's really long. Yeah. Same with Jeff. Try and really let your shoulders go so your arm feels soft and really long at the bottom. So there's no holding on at the bottom. You're not carrying the weight of your arms. You're really letting the weight of the arm go. Yeah, good. Great. Good, looking good. Yeah. And if there are any thoughts, questions, or observations when you're doing it, just unmute and ask me. Good. And you can cross right over left one time, left over right another time. That doesn't really matter too much. It's more how you let go and the sinking. Yeah, let me just change the view again. Third loosening exercise. Have a look first. With the feet parallel, the center line of the body stays in the same place. The hips turn one way and the hips turn the other way. So I'm not moving across. I'm staying in line, turning one way and I'm turning the other way. So I'll explain a little bit more. When I turn, when my right hip goes forward, my connection is going more to my left leg. So when I turn anti-clockwise, my right hip is coming forwards, my weight is going to my left leg. Square, 50-50. When I turn clockwise, more weight is going to my right leg, but I'm not moving over my right foot. So the first thing we have to do is differentiate how I can put more weight into each foot without moving. If I move, obviously the weight goes into this leg. If I move, the weight goes into this leg. If I move backwards, the weight goes into my back leg. How can I put more weight into this leg? By releasing, not by moving. Release, feel the connection grow slightly in my left leg, turn towards it. Turn back. Release, feel the connection grow slightly in my right leg, turn towards it. Release. With the release is an opening of the lower back. With the release is a slight bending of the knees. Feel the foot push onto the ground. So if the weight is the same in each foot, these are my feet on the ground. If the weight is the same, 50-50, what I want to do is sink this one a little bit more. Sink my left, a little bit more weight into my left, and then turn towards it. And the movement is almost, it's not going further than 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. I don't want to go like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Just keep it tick-tocking, small amount. Sink, turn, square, sink, turn, square, sink, turn, square, sink, turn, square. Notice the sinking comes before the turning. Don't just turn. Don't just turn. Sink, then turn. Square, sink. Feel the foot increase its stability, then move towards it. This is really important, okay, because in this position, 50-50, the muscles in the legs support me in a 50-50 position. If the muscles don't change and I move towards them, they're in the wrong condition. The muscles need to change to receive my body weight. The arms. When I sink to the left foot, the right hip goes forwards and I turn anti-clockwise. As the right hip goes forward, the right arm comes up. It's on the center line with the wrist at the top, like the beginning of the form. Here we're one fist apart at the beginning of the form, here a hand on the center line. So really what's happened is the hands come straight up like the beginning of the form, but because I've turned, it brings the hand onto the center line. So really this movement is exactly the same as the beginning of the form with one side. When I square, this one drops. When I turn on the other side, when I sink, turn, the other arm comes up. It's coming up in front of me, but because I'm turning, it's on the center line. So it looks like this. Sink, turn, square. Sink, turn, square. While I'm turning my arm and my hip is coming forwards, my arm goes out. So the arm arrives at the top the same time that I finish my turning. Turn square, turn to the other side. So I'm constantly moving my weight from foot to foot, and with it, turning the waist. This is the third loosening exercise. Sink, turn, arm lifts, square. 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 I want to have a look at your practice. First, it'll be a little bit robotic. You know, you're learning a new thing, you're trying to coordinate the body. That's absolutely fine. The main thing is you're clear what you're trying to do, and you're beginning to listen to the body move and coordinate the arms with the hips, coordinate the turning with the sinking. So the main thing, sink first, increase the foot pressure a little bit, turn towards it. Then, as you move, the arm can go out. Okay. Any thoughts or questions? I'd be surprised if there aren't.
What's the arm that's not up doing? Is it parallel to the floor?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, good question. Let me show you. So the activity or the focus is in the arm that's going up, but the other arm's equally as important. So when I sink here, I'm turning this way, this one comes up. As I turn back, so as I turn my waist back, it draws this arm in and this arm starts sinking. So the turning back and coming square is the beginning of the shoulder coming back with the hip. And as soon as this starts to happen, the arm starts to drop. So when I turn back, this one starts to drop and they almost cross. When I'm 50-50, they're here. This one goes up and this one seats by my side. Then this one draws in and this one comes out almost immediately. So they're like, you're almost like swimming, but put the focus on the arm that's coming forwards on the opposite side of where you're sinking. You know, when you play tennis, or maybe you play tennis, you do a forearm smash. Okay, so if you were to do that, whichever handed you're in, and you just do the shot, you probably, to get the most power, if you're right-handed, your left leg would be forward. Okay, your left leg would be forward and you'd be turning this way. This is cross alignment, and it's a very strong connection through the body. When we're doing this, my weight's in my left, my right arm's going out. This is the cross alignment through the body here. When I draw in, this one starts to drop and the other one starts to go out. But, okay, but here's the but. If you focus too much on the arms, you'll forget what you're doing with the sinking. We want to get the sinking to be the main thing, the turning following the sinking, and the arms to be secondary. Okay, don't focus on the arms because you'll lose what the base should be doing. The most important thing in Tai Chi is the movement of the center and how we're connected to the ground. And the classics of Tai Chi tell us the center moves first, whether it's sinking to the foot or whether it's turning, the center moves first, the arms follow. We want the arms to be following the movement of the hips, shoulder, the arms following the shoulder, elbow, the hand following the elbow. So we want the hands to be the last thing to be thinking of. The movement comes through the body. The fingers are like the tip of a whip or silk scarf.
So Luke,
Yeah.
so as I think I've been soft releasing on the wrong side. So as I'm softening on the left side as my right arm. So I was softening on the same side as the arm that was coming.
Okay, there is an exercise that does it that way, but we're not doing it that way now.
Okay.
You can do it the opposite way, but it's a completely different focus. So try not to do that one. So if I do it facing away from you, Louise, right, it's easier to follow. I'm going to turn towards this wall. My weight's going to go onto my left leg. I'm going to turn towards the left and my right arm's going out. Square. I'm going to turn towards the right. My weight's going into the right leg. My left arm goes up. So you can see the cross alignment there where the weight is in the base on this side, this arm's up, and I'm turning towards where the weight is. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So what you'll be looking for is a very small kind of juggling of your weight between one foot and the other foot, but without the center of gravity moving across. A very small shift in connection between your feet. And when you feel the foot increase in pressure, you turn towards it. And when you feel the foot increase in pressure, you turn towards it. Good. Okay. All these movements are in the Tai Chi form, but in an exercise we can do them again and again and again and really focus on them. I'm going to put myself back to speaker view and we'll go through some of the form. Let's start at the beginning with the heels touch. Settle down. Experience the quality of melting inside the body. Be on the lookout for places in the body you feel you can let go of. And at the same time, have a very strong alignment. So you're letting go around the frame of the body. You're not collapsing the frame of the body. When you let go, you may feel different pressures, you may feel different forces in the body. You may feel the weight of the body pressing into itself. Just because we're letting go doesn't mean it's going to feel very light. Actually, it can feel quite full and dense. But it should feel fluid and able to change. Bend the knees, find the right foot increasing in pressure. Position the left. Sink to the left foot and turn towards it, keeping the body upright and the hips level, like the first loosening exercise. Turn back and sink like the second loosening exercise. The legs lift like the second loosening exercise with the arms, and the legs sink like the second loosening exercise. The lower back releases. Finally settle, turn. Sit back onto the left foot, turn open, holding the ball, and move into the 50-50 posture. Small push with the back knee through to the hands. Find the front foot, move onto it and turn. Lift the left hand, step left. Move in, square to 12 o'clock, sink and drop the right hand. Small increase in pressure or open the back knee to push with the back of the left wrist. Move on to the left foot. Turn. Step right. Glide in. Square and sink. Small increase or opening of the back knee to turn the hips. Turn back. Sit back. Left hand palm up on the center. Palm up at your belly. Turn. Turn back. Facing 3 o'clock. Move into 50-50, the wrist touch. Small increase with the back knee, press. Draw back 90% to the back foot. Move in, the hands separate as the shoulders and elbows drop and sink. Small increase with the back knee to the push. Leave the fingers behind, draw 90% to the left foot. Turn. Keep turning as you pass the weight to the right. Turn clockwise, dropping the left hand underneath. Hold the hook. Turn to 12 o'clock, the fingers of the left to the right wrist. Draw in the left toes. Step out to 9 o'clock. 50-50. Square to 9 o'clock, sink. Small increase with the right knee to the push into single whip. Move forward onto the front foot. Turn. Draw in the toes of the right, push out the heel, lifting hands. Drop the hands. Then turn. Turn back. Step to the corner, 10:30, shoulder stroke, 50-50 posture. Move forward onto the front foot, turning. The weight now 100% in the right. Turn to 9 o'clock, drop the left arm, pull through with the right. White crane, spreads wings. Drop the right, lift the left. When the hands are parallel, turn. Right hand, palm up on the hip. Palm down behind. Turn back and fold the elbows, step left. Glide in, square. Small increase with the back knee. Brush left knee to a step. Drop onto the left foot. And the hands are down by the side, draw in the right toes, pick up the heel. Place the ball of the foot, lift the arms. Square to 9 o'clock, drawing the toes of the left, push out the heel, play guitar, turn open, brush left knee, twist step. Small increase, opening the back knee to push, brush left knee, twist step. Sit back, turn open the left toes to 8 o'clock, walk onto the left foot, facing 8 o'clock, slide in the right toes, lift, turn, place the right heel to the corner to 10. Keep turning as you move the weight onto the right foot, drawing the fist back to the hip, step left, move in, square, small increase with the back knee to punch. Fold, draw back to the right foot, move in, sink the shoulders and the elbows, 50-50 posture. Small increase of the back knee, push, draw back to the right foot, turn, right thumb on the center of the chest, left toes come into face 12 o'clock, move across to the left foot, the hands open up, drop the arms, and as the hands cross, step right, 50-50 weight, cross hands. Cross hands posture. The right hand is on the outside. The cross is at the height of the throat, and it's a nice round, it's not too small, nice and round and upright. Nice big ball. So your postures of ward off left, where you've got a nice round, big feeling of a circle here, is similar to this feel, but this is a little higher, but it's similar to that. And the elbows aren't high, the elbows are low. Cross hands. Take a break, have a look at those last couple of moves. I'll do them from a different position and I'll talk them through. The turning in brush left knee, twist step, the turning of the body and the turning of the shoulder is what puts the left hand into position. You see, I'm not moving my arm. It folds in front of the, protect the groin, one fist from the groin. It folds in from here. Then when I turn and square, it arrives in the posture. This hand is simply dropping into the center, push position. One fist from the ear, relax, the arm drops in. This is palm down, fold the elbows, relax, this one drops down. But because I'm turning, I end up in this position. Let's just try this one little bit. We want to go from play guitar. So from play guitar, all your weight will be in your right leg. Your left heel is lightly touching. If you swing the foot through, it's going to miss your right foot. Your left hand is in the push position. Left hand is in the push position, and your right finger's just touching the left elbow. Play guitar. And it's a big circle, it's not close to the body. So again, all the joints are open and the arms are relaxed. Fingers on the center line. The first, all the weight's in the right. The first movement, half turn, drop the hand to the hip joint, continue the turn, palm down. Now this position of the arm is the same as the loosening exercises. It's not behind my body and it's not sideways to my body. It's in front. So here I drop. That's the first half turn. And the second half turn is when the hand lifts. And if you look at the relationship of the body to the arm, it's the same as the loosening exercise. You're not behind, you're not tight in the back. your arm goes too far behind, you'll feel the tension in the shoulders. So the first move, here, turn back, fold. This happens while the body is turning. One movement. While the body is turning, this folds at the elbow. See, the elbow doesn't move very much. And this folds at the elbow. The elbow doesn't move very much. And then the last little bit of getting the body square, step left, move in. As I sink and square to face 9 o'clock, this is when the left hand brushes the knee. And when the right hand drops into position. Let's try that move a few times. Move in, sink and square. As you arrive in position, as you sink into the position, your right arm drops in, your left hand brush left knee. Try that a few times, please, just practice. Of course, you can ask any questions you want, or you can get me to do it again, have a look again. Okay,
Yeah,
think.
you can do it again. I've got my knees and my arms crossed.
Okay, so I'll do it facing away from you, Sue, and then you'll see it more clearly. So all my weight's in my right leg. My left heel is just on the ground, just resting lightly with no weight in it. My left arm is forward, so my right fingers are touching the left elbow. I'm going to turn clockwise with all my weight in the right. Now I turn anti-clockwise and the arms fold and I take a step. Now I move forward into the 50-50 position, turn to face the front direction. The left hand brushes the thigh, the right hand drops into place. Turn one way, turn the other way, step, move in and square. That makes sense. That make it easier. Yeah, great. Yeah, good. So here, think windscreen wipers. Think windscreen wipers, but it comes with the body turning. The elbows stay pretty much where they are, and it's just the forearm that drops, and the elbows stay pretty much where they are, and it's the forearm that folds in. That's it. Just plops in, nice and loose. Yeah. And you're trying to coordinate it with the turning of the body one way to the top, and then turning back, fold in. We've got all these little bits of the body. We've got hands and elbows and shoulders, and they all have to kind of play the same game. They don't want to be doing independent things. Monique, lift your arm a little higher. When you turn open, lift it to the same position as the loosening exercise, so all the joints are open and it's long. And then it's ready to fold in. Palm down, that's it. Louise, that's too far behind you when you open that arm up. More to the front, because feel the shoulder blade and see that place where it doesn't feel like it's locking up. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It should feel much smoother there, and the movement should be much freer. if you don't open up too far behind you. And Jeff, when this arm comes in, it folds into the ear, and all that's happening here is you're sinking. This is just sinking into place. It's not being pushed into place. There's no break in the wrist. The arm's just simply dropping into place. So you get a nice straight line from your finger to your elbow here. And then when you move in, falls into the 45-degree up and 45-degree forward position, push position. That means that there's no excess tension in the arms, which is what we want. And they take the excess tension away from the body. There's no break in the wrist. The wrist is nice and straight from the fingertip right the way through to the elbow. Nice, straight, relaxed, as if it's resting on something. Okay, next little move. Just going to do a time check for myself. Good. Have a look, please. Brush left knee, twist out. We sit back from the right hand. Just going to change the view. So I need to pin myself so I'm big on your screen. I should be big on your screen, is that right? Yeah. Leave the right fingers where they are. Sit back. When you do that, of course, your arm lengthens, doesn't it? Because we've done that before in the form we sit away from the hands and the arm lengthens. Here we sit back and the arm lengthens. If you look at the curtain, you can see my fingers are in line with the curtain here, up at 45 degrees with a nice straight line. When I sit back, they stay where they are. They don't move away. They don't do this. And they don't do that. They stay where they are. It's me that moves away. My body moves away, leaves my fingers behind. That's the first thing. So my weight's 50, brush left knee twister, sit away from the right finger. All my weight is now in the back leg, in the right leg. Sit back, it's in the right leg. So the left toes, I can open the left toes now to 8 o'clock. Turn them open to the corner. They were facing 9 o'clock. Turn the toe open to 8 o'clock. Move on to the left foot and turn my waist to 8 o'clock. So there's a turning of my body as I move forward onto the left foot. And with it, I scoop down with the hand, and the hand follows that turning of the body onto the left foot, and I scoot in the right foot. No weight in the right foot. So as my weight is in the left, I move in the right. And you can see there's a turning. I'm facing 9 o'clock. I turn open the foot to 8. As I move in, I'm turning towards 8 o'clock. And there's a scooping down of the arm. It's like this movement, turn the waist, scoop down. And then from the scoop down, I'm going to go into the lift. So it's one smooth movement. Sit back, turn open the left foot, move onto it, scoop down and lift. Now to do that, you've got to be nicely balanced in your left foot. Otherwise, you'll throw yourself all over the place. Don't worry if you do. Do what you can, right? What you'll be learning is how to stabilize, release inside the leg and find your root in your left foot, because you'll need that in order to pick up your right knee. If you're not stable in your left foot, when you pick up your knee, of course, you're going to wobble. Part of the learning process. Okay, let's practice that a little bit. So we'll go from weight in the right foot, play guitar, turn open, turn back and fold, step left, move in, sink and square. Sit back away from the right fingers, turn open the left toes, move and turn towards the left foot, scooping down with the right hand. Both hands are low, bring in the right toes. You can pause here and give yourself a chance to really be upright and stable, and then lift. The arms come up like the beginning of the form, and the knee joins it. Ideally parallel to the ground. Have a go, please. Good. Anyone having trouble with that move? Are you finding that one okay? Okay, we don't want to stop in midair, do we? Let's carry on. Okay, so when we lift the knee and the hands, we're in this position and I'm facing 8 o'clock. I'm going to turn to 9 o'clock. As I do, my shoulders start to relax and my hands turn over. See how here the fingers are down? They turn to here. And then finally, I'm going to turn to 10 o'clock. And this is when my right hand turns over. So I'm going to go from palm down facing 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. My right hand goes completely 180 degrees from facing 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So by the time I'm facing 10 o'clock, my right hand palm down. So this is what the arms do. They turn over and do this. By the turning of the waist clockwise, the right hand is drawn in to a loose fist onto the top of the hip joint. The turning of the waist this way brings my hand in. Okay, it's not my hand coming in independently. It's the turning of the waist, the turning of the shoulder that draws my hand in. My left hand pushes forwards. So this shoulder's going backwards, this shoulder's going forwards, and I've got that feeling. So my hands are level here. As I turn, my left hand goes forwards, my right hand goes backwards along, like train tracks, turning of the waist. Have a look at the whole move. Brush, play guitar, turn open, half a turn, full turn back, fold, step, move in, sinking, square, small expansion of the back knee to push, sit away from the right hand, turn open the left foot, move towards the left foot and turn, scoot down, draw in the right toes, lift, facing 8 o'clock, turn facing 9 o'clock, place the right heel facing 10 o'clock as I walk onto the right foot, turning in. The turn finishes as I'm 100% on my right foot, step left, move in, sink and square, small expansion from the back knee to punch. Do that again. Turn open. Turn back, step left, move in, square, small expansion of the back knee. Sit back, left foot to 8 o'clock. Walk onto the left foot, left. Turn. Place the right heel. Turn as you walk onto the right foot, 100% on the right. Step left. Move into punch, square. Small expansion from the back knee as you punch. Have a go, please. The class of practice tonight. And then we'll
Look.
have, yeah, Monday.
When does that last arm come around? When does it come in? Just before the punch. When does that arm turn in?
Sure, okay, sure. Yeah, so this point here, so you can see my feet. This hand here, when I step left, I'm moving forward. I'm moving in towards my left hand. As I turn my waist, I'm moving in towards my left hand. Then as I punch, it's in place. So it's not that my hand comes across, it's that I'm moving in towards my hand.
Okay,
Punch.
thank you.
Okay, try that a couple of times, then we'll just quickly look at cross hands. It's a night for practice tonight to try and get all those things feeling more coordinated, feeling more smooth. Putting more understanding into each move, seeing the principles within each move. Okay, good. Last little move from the punch. Just watch the arms, turn to the corner, turn a little bit to the corner, draw back, move in and push. So my legs don't change. Fold the right arm, palm up, move back, the right arm slides through the left, move in and push. Leave the hands behind. Turn the right thumb on the center of the chest. Now my weight's in the right foot and I'm facing 12 o'clock. Open up, hands in the same position as the loosening exercises. Now my weight's in the left. Drop onto the left, just like the second loosening exercise, and cross hands, take a step with the right foot. So all that move together from the punch, fold, draw back, move in, push, sit away from the hands, turn, bring in the left toes, turn, move across to the left foot, open the hands up, drop the hands nice and long, step right into cross hands. We're running out of time to go over that move in detail. We'll do that move next week in more detail. I just wanted to say before we finish the class, best way to learn Tai Chi is to take each little piece like a jigsaw piece and make sure, rather than trying to take a great big chunk and doing this move, that move, that move, that move, that move, that move, and that move, and them all being a little bit wrong. Try and learn one little jigsaw piece at a time and add to it. So if you're working on folding the arms in with the turn. Go over this piece again and again and again to get the turning of the body, to get the coordination with the movement of the arms, and get the arms really nice and loose and floating in. Okay, when you've got that feeling, add the next little bit of jigsaw piece to it, which is the body taking a step and settling into the 50-50. Blending the arms to it, and then you can add one little piece that's getting closer to having the right quality, the next little piece of jigsaw the next. If you try and do too much in one go, there'll be too much that's all over the place without any quality. What we want is one little piece that fits well and works well and coordinates, and then you can feel good just about adding the next bit to it. So repetition of each individual little piece is a really good way to practice. Going to leave you there for tonight. Any questions, email me or ask me next week. Have a good week and thank you for joining in. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.